All right, welcome to another edition of the Career Musician Podcast. Today we have one of my very good friends on, Sean Sobash, and he is, doing what 95% of musicians want to do. Yeah. I mean, if you're at home as a young kid being like, man, I want to be a professional musician, he's doing it, bro.
He's crushing it.
Yeah, man. So I'm super excited to talk about him today. His episode was amazing. So much good stuff.
I mean, I just want to start with his credits because I know I have an 18-year-old daughter who you know, Nina, big shout out. She's got a rock band, the Heat Strokes. They're killing it. Patricio and Nemo and Robert, they're killing it. We do backyard parties. I love them. But that age group right there, you know, my daughter's 18. She's been loving Dominic Fike for like the past 4 or 5 years. And Sean has played with Dominic Fike, amongst others, Remi Wolf, Luke Hemmings, and the band Rooney, which I started digging Rooney back in the middle 2000s. So it's cool. He's working, like you said, he's working with a lot of, you know, legit A-list artists. And this is what career musicians want to do. We want to do this shit, man. And he's doing it.
Yes, sir, dude. Coachella, Bonnaroo. His resume is insane. And he has great advice on how to do it, too. Like one of the first things he gets into in this episode that I loved is he talks about community, which is something that you talk about all the time, man, how we're all building each other up. We're here in this together. Yeah, he talks about like building community. He talks about like how he went to the jam sessions and he made these relationships over time where everyone built him up. Have you had any jam sessions, things like that?
Yes. When I moved to LA in 2005, what? Some of you weren't even alive. Shut up. There were some big jam sessions in town. One was called Cafe Cordial. It was over in Studio City, right on the boulevard. We call Ventura Boulevard. Sometimes people call it the boulevard. Anyway, Cafe Cordial was this posh supper club joint. Really nice, you know, bar and restaurant, but they would always do music, and they had a killer weekly jam session for like decades. I mean, it's so sad that this place closed down. It closed down probably about, I don't know, 5, maybe a little longer, years ago, whatever. Anyway, wow. You would go there. I forget what night it was. All of the cats who were the cats in LA were there jamming. It might have been like every Monday or Wednesday, whatever it was. I remember one time I first moved here, and I saw Gordon Campbell, and he didn't know who I was, the drummer. And we're just sitting there talking, and I'm like, wait, I think I know him, but I couldn't. I was like, yeah, that's it. Now, this is before social media was big. Anyway, I finally figured out. I was like, Gordon, yo, what's up, dude? I was like, I'm a fan. I listened to you play on all these records and tours and stuff. And he's like, oh, cool, man, cool. And I was like, can I buy you a drink? I remember I bought him a Cape Cod.
Nice.
Cape Cod is vodka cranberry. Yeah, I bought Gordon Campbell a Cape Cod when I first moved to town.
That's awesome.
At a jam session, but that's what it is. You just got to hang and
Yeah. And we put these in our heads sometimes. We feel like, oh, this is A-list players. They're out on the road with these guys. The thing is, like, their bosses are the rock stars. You talk about this all the time, right? The boss is the rock star. They're not the rock stars, right? You work for the boss. But the other way that translates is these guys aren't some unreachable, they won't talk to you. A lot of them are in town hanging out. You can go down to Gold Diggers on a Monday and see half of Stevie Wonder's band playing in the house band there.
There you go.
You know, these guys love music. They want to be out playing. They're good hangs.
That's it. We all love music. We all want to play. I'm glad you brought up Gold Diggers because that's one of the more common joints today, right?
Ooh, if you're in LA on a Monday night, go to Gold Diggers, man. The heaviest hang, dude. It's so good.
Really? What time does it get popping?
I want to say 9 or 10.
That makes sense.
And it fills up. It used to be kind of an underground. Not everyone knew about it. Now it's popping off and people know. So you got to get there early, get your ticket, but it's still just a heavy hang. Funny side story, actually. This was my first couple weeks I moved to LA in 2021. My wife and I went out to see Very Good Mondays at Gold Diggers. It was still pretty chill, not crazy. And there's a circle of people sitting on a set break. They're all up there talking. And she's had a couple. She's feeling good. She walks up, busts into the circle. I love your hair. Oh, your shoes are so cute. They're all adding each other on Instagrams, taking selfies, best friends. The next morning, we're like, oh, that's Lizzo's keyboard player and Alicia Keys' keyboard player. Like all these like heavy. It was like the heaviest keyboard hang in the world. And my girl just walked in and was talking about their hair and stuff. That was like, oh shoot, we're in LA, man. This is crazy.
That's it. And that's what it's all about. So I love how Sean talks about that. And by the way, Sean is such a cool hang. He's so low key and mellow. You ever meet those people where you're like, dang, bro, you're just so easy to get along with. You know, that's him. He's just like the chillest dude.
Exactly, man. He's so nice. And he talks about that too. Your attitude and your reputation will book you a lot more gigs than your chops will.
Ooh.
Which I'm sure you have run into that before.
Yeah, you could take
putting together bands.
You could take that line to the bank right there. Your attitude and reputation will book you more gigs than your chops ever will. I mean, that's it. Like that's it. That's the lesson. Career musician, done. Goodbye. Over. just remember that one. Stick to that one.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man. And then he also talks about there's a right way to negotiate, which I thought was really cool because we all know, if you listen to the Career Musician, you know how I feel about this. You're not really negotiating unless you're willing to
say no. If you're not willing to walk away.
Yeah. So, you know.
And
I know that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, right?
It is. And we get into that good in this episode, which makes me happy because it's not something that pops up all the time. And people sometimes are afraid to negotiate and they're scared. Man, the number of stories I could tell about guys being afraid to negotiate and afraid to ask and afraid, like, if you aren't willing to ask for things, like, at some point they should, if they haven't told you no, at some point you're not asking for enough. I mean, if you're going in there like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
You're leaving stuff on the table.
That's a good perspective. If you're getting nothing but green lights, then you might think, maybe I'm not asking enough for myself, you know? Yeah, maybe you have to run into some yellow lights, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, you and I talk about this all the time. And, you know, harping on that negotiation thing, finally, it's really, I believe it's a make or break kind of a deal, because once you get to a certain point, as you know, Joel, you have to keep maintaining your lifestyle, your quality of life. And if you don't stand up for yourself, especially after you've been on a gig for a long time, if you don't stand up and advocate for yourself, hey, you know, can we discuss raises? Can we discuss this or that? Or maybe it's an equity share or whatever it might be, you know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, don't get complacent. Don't let yourself just do the same thing forever with no change. Cost of living goes up, like you said. Yeah. Everyone else, every other business, people are comfortable talking about money up front. People are like, yep, here's the money, here's this is what I charge. Give you a quote for my electrician services. If not, you're out.
Yeah, like literally, you call an electrician or a plumber, if you don't pay their rate, they'll be like, okay, sorry, you know. That's it. They don't come on, well, hold on, let's negotiate. No, they don't do that.
And that's one of the big transitions you got to make, moving it from a hobbyist to a pro musician, is you got to get comfortable quick talking about details in business.
last note. Who gets the last note? Drummers? I look at the drummer.
Yeah. Thanks.
Wait.
The wow wows. You got to get the little, the little sound effects, right? Right. Yeah. Or the. All right, man. Sean, welcome to the Career Musician.
Thanks, yeah.
This is
Glad
so
to
cool.
be here.
Yeah. Sean Sobash.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is that name derivative? Do you know?
Yeah, my dad, his side is Polish. So Sobash comes from
Very cool.
the land of Poles, I guess.
That's neat. But it's got a very artistic ring to it. If you wanted to be a solo artist,
Yeah,
Sean Sobash.
I know. My parents did the alliteration without knowing what I was going to go into.
There you go. They set you up for it. Yeah. Very cool, man. All right. So, first of all, how do you and Joel know each other?
The Swift Nation tribute band, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Taylor brought us together. She usually brings, little girls together and their moms, but she brought
Okay, she
these
got a couple
two guys.
grown dudes in.
Well, little girl. No, just kidding.
Little
That
girls
is
at heart.
That is so awesome. Okay. You've been doing that for a while, right? That band?
Yeah.
Both of you? You've been in the band for a while?
we've done that one. We did actually another Taylor Swift tribute, and then we played with a country artist on his hat.
Timmy McKeever.
Got it. Is that the guy from Nashville?
Yes.
Oh, the
Yep.
new guy that
Killer
you
artist. Killer.
Yeah,
Very cool.
blowing up.
Blowing
I just
up.
subbed one show, but thanks, Joel, for bringing me on.
I love that. So, have you guys been playing together in different iterations for many years, or is this recent over the past year or two? How did this all transpire?
We just met, I think, last year.
Oh,
Pretty
fairly
recent.
new.
Yeah,
And
pretty
was it
recent,
at an
yeah.
audition by chance?
No, just right on the gig. No rehearsal, just the gig.
So both
Nice
of you
to meet
guys,
you.
Yeah.
love that. Let's just talk about that. So part of what we do, really a big part of what we do, is just showing up and playing, right? You get the call, but you don't get a practice rehearsal beforehand,
Exactly.
a practice run, a practice show. You just got to do it
You're just expected to nail it.
to just know it.
Show up and do your homework.
As we say, know the book. Do your homework and know the book.
Right.
It's
talk
it's
about
know
that.
the iPad now, actually.
It's
We don't get
right.
books
Yeah.
anymore.
Wait, book? What's that? What's this book you speak of? You're absolutely right. So how did that work? Tell me about how that happened. And did the music director literally just say, "Here's a list of the songs"? Did they give you any charts? Did they give you a spreadsheet with hyperlinks? Like how
Right.
how did it all go down?
This one was actually pretty easy, straightforward, and unlike most situations, I'd say, well, maybe not most situations, but this one we got the whole 2-hour show on a track, and so no charts, no nothing except for the track, and we had to learn that on our own.
Are you hearing the slate? Bridge, 2,
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
4. You are hearing that.
Yeah.
2 hours back to back, full run.
Occasionally they'll add a little intermission, but yeah, this is a little more unique, I'd say, right? Where it's not necessarily go to YouTube or here's my records, learn them. It was more just like, this is the show, learn it. And
Yeah, here's the song list. Here's the 2-hour file, and you just sit down, and then you realize, as you're learning, oh shoot, they double the intro or double this verse, and so you gotta just listen through and do your homework. Yeah,
right. And I think it would be more helpful, you were saying, if we got charts, because for me, at least the first show, 2 hours of music, I don't want to be using charts on a gig but I ended up making some and kind of hide my iPad somewhere just if I need to look at it.
I was just going to say 2 hours of music is not easy.
Yeah.
If I had to do a 2-hour show and the music director didn't give me charts, I think I would be biting my tongue. Bruh, you're not even going to give me charts? I got to chart this out. So how do you guys approach that?
You want to take it first?
I mean, so I came from the Nashville Broadway world, where here's 70 songs we're playing in 2 days. Good
I love
luck.
how
Here's
you
a
say-
Spotify list.
I love how you said Nashville Broadway, meaning Broadway, the street, the main street, the strip in Nashville,
Yes.
where all the bars are, all
Yes.
the venues.
And so that was kind of my upbringing was, here's 70 songs, you need to know them. It's just expected. Here's a playlist, show up and you better nail it. And there's the same 300 or 400 songs on Broadway, so it's they just kind of expect you to know it.
I was just
and they
going to
don't really
say,
care.
how long did it take you to get that 300 songs in your regular cache?
My first
that
one, I
you're-
had 2 days, and they handed me the 70 list. So I had 2 days, and one of them was a road date, and the other one was my anniversary. And I still had to learn the 70 songs. I had to chart them out and be ready to show up and kill it. And so it's after that, I kind of got in the flow of I always do my own charts, and I'm used to
Okay.
that kind of thing. And so
And you're doing your own shorthand?
Yeah,
charts?
I'm kind of based on Nashville number system.
Okay. So you're writing chord numbers or just rhythms?
Just rhythms. I write kind of, if I hear the chord changes, I will, but most of the time it's just a one chord or something. Because I don't care what the chords are, I'm just more interested in the form.
Yeah,
but,
right. And the hits.
And the hits. And
so you're writing subdivisions, eighth note hits, anticipations, 16th notes. You're doing all that subdivision on the paper. God forbid you didn't remember. You could be, oh, I see how it starts. It starts up with a pickup. 1, 2, right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Which we just did today for one of our artists. That
We actually did, and you
so hurry and chart it.
Bro, you nailed them because I think I get and I'm one of those MDs that I'm talking about.
Song today, right before we're walking in. Here's two songs.
I do agree with Joel on this. I'd rather write my own shorthand charts because I'm quick at it now. And sometimes people send you charts, and everyone has their own way. And if it's not really a standardized way, it almost is worse.
Yeah.
And it wastes time for you just sitting down and doing your own really quickly.
Right. But for me, when I'm doing a band date that I'm the music director for, I sub out that job. I hire a person to do charts.
Cool.
So the charts are 100% legit.
And that's great. I like legit charts.
Right? Because when you look at a legit chart, your brain just goes, I can see everything. I know where I'm going. It's like having a map when you're driving, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And it takes away all questions, and it makes it literally I could show up and just not even listen to any song and just read the chart.
Read the chart.
Yeah.
You can read the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I grew up also as a kid doing a jazz band and orchestra. So that's all reading.
All reading.
So, but that's this old school specific you're talking about where it's perfect and somebody did it right. Nowadays, a lot of people, most of my friends that I play with don't actually read, which doesn't matter for this industry.
That's interesting.
For the pop world,
Yeah.
Or for the touring world, you shouldn't be reading on stage really anyway.
No, you're right.
That's nice of you to do.
Yeah, well, we call those master rhythm charts, right? It has the chord slashes, and it will have rhythmic phrases denoted, especially if it's a band rhythmic phrase.
Right.
But most importantly, it has the structure, the intro, the A, the verse. Actually, it's not A and B, or it depends on the type of music it is.
Right.
It could be concert letters, A, B, C, D, or it could be pop sections, verse, pre-chorus, blah, blah, blah. But then you see first ending and second ending, you're like, whew, I know I go back to the top, hit the second ending, and then go on to the next section. But then when it gets really good is the DS and the codas.
DC, all that, yeah.
And then you're like, okay. But now, I will say there's an art to that, because it's not easy to write those charts.
No, yeah.
Have you tried it?
Yeah. And I do a church gig every Sunday, and the director is really good with his charts. But yeah, it's what you're saying about that is it's not easy because you actually have to make your own decisions on, do I want to do DC now, DC later, or DS now, or coda here, or just write it through, or it's a lot of decisions you have to make. Decisions you have to make as the chart creator
for what's going to be easiest for the artist,
to try to keep it on one page or 2 pages.
You said it, the one pager.
Yeah. That's the most
ideal. Bro, if you could do one page, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say that we just did a session, you said, with the other artists, the Imaginaries. They had lyric charts, but they had the chords over them. But in a good way, they put the chords directly over the word that it was supposed to hit on. So, again, I didn't have much time to prep. So you could just look at it and be like, oh, I hear there's the G. There's the E.
Because those are the most frustrating kind of charts for me. If it's not like that,
because imagine if it's not spaced correctly.
Right. If you've never heard the song before, you have no clue.
You have no clue. So this is the kind of real career musician shit that nobody knows other than us who do it. Okay, so you prefer writing your own shorthand. Do you? If I said, hey, we do have charts, would you prefer bass clef notes or just the master rhythm chord chart?
That's a good question. I guess it depends what kind of gig it is. I guess the bass clef notes would take all questions out for me, but I don't mind just the chord charts. But then that could be me playing something you didn't originally intend, you didn't hear. You know what I mean?
And I like what you said. It depends on what it is, because a blues and F, right? Yeah. And then use. So you know what to do, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we go back to 4. Right.
Nice. A jazzier turnaround.
Right.
Yeah. But you're
Right. Now, so that's a great example because I was doing a different turnaround.
Right. You did more of a jazzy one.
So,
2-5-1. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So now I can imagine if you're on a TV date, let's say Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, and because they'll do stuff like that. You'll hear a blues in the show, and you'll know that's just a blues, but it's very specific because they have a full brass and horn section. If I wanted you to go and hit the diminished passing, and you didn't,
Yeah.
that would be an issue.
Right.
So then you would need to have all the notes written out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the full way of explaining it, but
yeah.
you know what I mean?
The blues, it's just the 3 chords, but if you look at someone like Charlie Parker and his Bird Blues, it went all over.
All over.
Just
Yeah.
2-5-1 after 2-5-1.
After 2-5-1.
Yeah.
They're stacking 2-5-1s. 2-5-1 stacks. And so only jazz nerds would get that. You and I looked at each other, laughed, and he's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love it. But conversely, same thing for you. Imagine if you were doing a funk gig that was very specific, Bruno Mars, Daft Punk.
Dua Lipa?
Thank you. You need to know where all those little hits and accents are. If I had a drum chart drawn up with all the hits and accents, would you prefer to read that, or would you prefer to still do your own shorthand?
Man, I love my shorthand. I hate
You
that
do?
because
Okay.
I lines, jazz music, the way it's written out and stuff, compose, it's all these lines and all the measures, and so many of them repeats. It's just kind of a wash of measures.
It blends
And
together.
I have the National Number System because it chunks out sections, and I I can feel okay, this 8-bar A section or whatever, and then I can add
Yeah.
hits where I need. But
Yeah.
yeah, I always do my own charts, even when I get them.
I love
like my
that.
charts.
If we were in the key of A for Nashville numbers, 1, right? 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, and hit on 5, right?
Okay.
See how you walked up? Yeah, that was perfect. Right. I love that.
That was too high.
Man.
Yeah.
So, that's the easiest way. You literally just 1, 4, 5.
Right. And that's why I understand why Nashville people do that. I just wasn't raised that way. And I can read a Nashville chart now, but at first it threw me off a little because that just wasn't how I grew up. I didn't grow up with Nashville charts.
Sure.
So.
Same thing happened to me. I grew up a little bit more. I started with classical, then got into jazz, so it was a little bit more structured.
Right.
And then I moved to Nashville, and people were telling me about it. I did some homework prior. Now, this was in the 90s before the interwebs was invented. I mean, it was invented. It wasn't prolific like it is now.
Yeah, when you say do research, my instant thought is went to YouTube. That's
Right.
a synonymous phrase.
Oh,
but you
yeah.
couldn't
Isn't
do
that
that back
crazy?
then.
Guys, I couldn't go to YouTube.
No, yeah.
You know how
You actually had to work.
Dude, because I knew of Brent Mason. I was like, what is this Brent Mason whisperings? And he was the ultimate Nashville session guitar cat, the #1 guy. So I went and got his lesson on VHS videotape.
Yep.
His
I have a few of those.
Oh my gosh. And that's how you did it back then. And then I learned about the number system. But when I learned about it for Nashville numbers, I was like, wait a minute. We already do this. In jazz class,
Right.
Yeah,
we do, yeah.
you do
that's what they would tell you.
Yeah.
Go to the 2, go to the 5, go to the 4.
And even classical had the figured bass,
Figured bass.
1-6-4 chord or but
Yeah.
yeah, it's so different because I was a little opposite of you. I was first kind of a garage band in jazz band, and then I went to orchestra when I started playing upright bass, and I was like, wait, you have to read exactly what's here? Because jazz band, you can kind of
You can interpret.
you can interpret a little more. At least for bass, I could. But classical, at first, I was like, I literally have to play everything that's written here, and they're like, yes.
Yes. With the proper accents.
Right. That's
And
the other thing. Really
bowing
particular-
articulations?
Right. Yeah. Down bow, up bow, down.
So you have all that on the upright.
Yes, I don't do many of those gigs anymore, to be honest.
That's a whole nother set of chops, right?
It's and I don't keep it up. I still have my bow and I still have my upright bass, and I occasionally get at it, but I just don't get those gigs. So
Right. All right. That's the perfect segue.
yeah,
So all these nerdy gigs really aren't paying the bills. But what is paying the bills?
it's true. In school I almost only did upright bass. I did classical and jazz. That's all I did. And then right when I got out of school and said I need to make some money and pay these bills, I started taking some auditions up here in LA and realized if you can get on a tour, a day rate, a weekly rate is actually really good money. And it needs to be because you're not going to be on tour all year. so it needs to cover the whole year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I want to break
Yeah.
that down, right? I think that's going to be the term. Let's break that down. Tuka-tuka-cha. Every time I say that, you got to give me a riff.
I'm getting you a soundboard.
Oh, we have an ongoing thing. He doesn't like giving me drum sounds.
should do it.
See?
does
Yeah,
weird-
it's part of his gig, man. He's like, you can't tell me what to do and when to do it.
Who's the boss here? That's the question.
Thank you, Sean.
There's no question.
Joel's gonna be mad he brought
Let's break it down. Chicka-chicka-cha. I'm so glad you said that because you've played with some big artists and you still do play with some big artists. And that's part of what you do as a career musician, bassist. By the way, are there any other iterations of what you do? Do you play keys? Do you play drums? Or is it just bass?
I've done some tours where I play a little guitar. Guitar was my first instrument as a little kid, and then I started playing upright bass, and I never really went back.
Got it. But you could double on auxiliary guitar if you needed to.
Yeah. But kind of like I was saying with my classical chops, my guitar chops are going slowly as I don't keep them up. I've done a lot of synth bass gigs where I double on bass and synth bass.
Great.
Yeah. My keys chops are good enough for that.
But synth bass, I was going to say, synth bass is a whole nother animal because you can't think like a keyboard player.
Right.
You got
and my Moog, there was no presets. I had to do everything on my own. So it's synthesis too, learning about waves and
the
everything.
LFO and
Right,
all
yeah,
that. The
yeah, the
waveforms
release,
and the release, the
cutoffs.
attack, the cutoffs, the threshold. Oh my god.
It's a lot of stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a good skill. That's like a kind of like almost an expectation now. People are like, okay, cool, and you can play synth bass too.
Right,
So
right.
that's like a good skill. Like that's like as a bassist.
It
kind of
is,
big
yeah.
thing
And
to learn.
it used to even be more of one, I feel like. When I first got to LA, it was all bassists had to have their sub Fatty or Moog 37. It's funny how music goes in and out of stuff. It's like, I feel like it's still there, but not as popular for some reason right now.
Where are you from originally?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of jumping around because
Me too, because I have ADD.
Yeah, well, I think we all do. But I love the natural flow of the story arc here because really, once you said you got out of college, which college?
I first went to Loyola in New Orleans, and then I ended up doing a tour and then graduating finally from San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Yeah.
You realized I got to pay bills.
Yeah.
And then you were like, did you move to LA right after that?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then you started trying to get on tours and you started because you realized that's what's going to really help.
I guess I don't know if tours happen actually accidentally. It sort of did, I think. I was just working in LA. Actually, where I met Emily, the camera operator. We were at this. Yeah.
She's not just a camera operator.
She's a great musician. Yeah.
She's an amazing musician and a TCM pro, part of the team. Yes.
Yes. But I guess where I was getting with that was it sort of naturally came about where I started going on tours because all of us met. I met on this one gig with a guy who started a jam session, and the jam session was such a good kickstart for my career and a lot of people's careers. Basically, we'd meet every Monday night at First State Social House in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. Then it was at Viper Room when it got big, and we all just would every Monday night go there and play songs with each other, and it created a huge community. And all of us kind of just started sharing gigs, and one guy'd get a tour, needed a bassist, call me, vice versa. And
this is circa.
This was 2015, I want to say.
Okay.
So like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Is when I really started doing big tours.
The Viper Room, and what was the other place you said?
State Social House.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still there or not. It is. Okay, cool. Yeah.
That is definitely something I want to talk about. So people coming to LA, seeking positions on tours, how do you do it?
Right.
Basically, you just laid out the framework.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways. I think if it's organic like that, that's obviously the best because when I did first move to LA, I was doing auditions. Actually, I got this cattle call audition at Six Flags.
I love it.
Yeah, they have a summer show. We played 5 nights a week. Then they did a Halloween show and then a Christmas show. Anyway, it was a union gig, not a really good union gig, but I did it, moved up to LA. That's where I met a guy, one of the guitarists, Eric Himmel. He started a jam. And
I know Eric.
Yes,
and I know that jam.
That was his jam, this
Sunset
Jam.
That
Right.
was a huge
jam.
Yeah, it did really well. I was in the house band when it started, and through that, a lot of us there, I still know tons of people from that, and we all kind of brought each other up. And anyway, with that, so the first thing I did was an audition. You can do auditions, but it's pretty tough, because even if you're a good player or you're not, they might be looking for the guy that looks like this, and that's why he gets the gig and you didn't get the gig. Or so I think to stay on track with that is, you can come up and do auditions. That's a pretty brutal route. And if that's the only route you have at the time, do it. But ideally you get past that where people just call you for the gig, whether it's knowing music directors, a bunch of bassists that'll call me for the gig, other drummers or managers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just increasing that network like any industry.
Oh man, okay, there's so many layers there that I want to peel back, because I truly do believe that there are several types of auditions, and one of the most popular is that cattle call.
Right.
And like you said, the cattle call is brutal. You're typically showing up with either tens or possibly even 100 or more other musicians.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
So 30, 40 musicians, maybe even 100 or more.
Right.
And that's nerve-wracking, because you're like, oh, how am I going to...
Yeah, the one spot.
The one
How am I gonna
spot
get
for
the one
that chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then, like you said, I want everybody to understand this. It's not a reflection on you or your talent or your abilities.
Right. So don't ever let
Right?
it get to you.
That's
don't
why
get-
you say it's brutal.
Right. It's brutal. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it gets to you and you want to give up kind of.
It's like you
times.
hear about all the actors living out here in LA.
Right. It's the same thing. And they have it actually worse, I feel like, than
Worse.
musicians.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like they do have it worse because there's thousands of actors for the same position, right?
Right. And I think exactly that. And then also us musicians can kind of get by in town. We can do gigs like in the meantime.
That's a good
And
point.
acting, I don't know if I'm not an actor, so I don't know exactly, but they're always working at restaurants. And yeah, us musicians do that too, I guess, at times. But it seems like we have work we can kind of do in town and keep ourselves busy and stuff. And it seems like for acting, it's pretty rough. You know, they just audition after audition, failed audition, no real in-town gigs to pay for their passion
You can't just do a run of commercials on the weekend. We can go to a cover bar gig or something.
Right, yeah.
to
We can go
stay
to
alive.
yeah.
That's true. And
Yeah,
even
we can
to
teach
get
lessons and
That's right. There's so many little sub pieces that we can fill the slots with, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, because that's interesting, because even for commercials, it's a grueling process. There's agencies, there's managers involved, there's this
Right.
just to get a commercial.
Right.
Whereas if you want to go get a gig, chances are if you start hanging out, start talking to the cats that are playing in that scene, eventually, like you said, you'll get called. That's what happened
Right.
with Eric and Emily and the other people that were in that little, I don't want to call it a clique, but that little,
A scene.
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
scene,
It was
Thank you.
yeah.
yeah,
And it did start pretty small, and it just kept
growing.
growing and growing, and then COVID hit, and
Let me,
stopped.
man, that, and everybody can relate to that. But let me ask you this: whether it was that scene or any other, have you ever run into dissension amongst the ranks, where somebody gets jealous of that one because they called this one and not that one, and I should have been called for that, and why did they get the gig? Did you ever run into any of that?
I think I see that a lot.
But
It's-
you know how to steer clear.
yeah, I think that it's weird as a bassist thing. I don't know. For bassists, it seems like it doesn't happen as much, I feel like.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I guess I can't speak for the other instruments.
Maybe it's because you're always getting called, so you're not.
No, I don't know. No, because
There's a need for good, solid bass players.
yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know. There probably is that though.
Yeah, but if you haven't experienced it, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think we all help each other out. I feel like.
Community.
Yeah, and that's
Right. There's enough for everyone.
right. There is. Yeah,
Everyone
there really
can
is.
eat.
Yeah.
And I think we do have to really, as musicians, we have to try to practice that. Okay, I'm content with my journey at this time where I'm
Yeah.
at, as long as I keep on working on self-improvement for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And just keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like my wife always says that. She's like, you're losing focus. Keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And,
Yeah.
and I'd say I'm in the middle somewhere. I have bass friends that are always gigging, and I'm like, man, how do they always get from one big tour to the next? So I don't even think that I'm always the one getting the call. There are guys that I look at and I'm like, man, they really get called constantly. But
Well, what if we were to analyze that? Because I can totally identify with that. I think all of us as musicians at some point can say, "Oh man, yeah, I know what that's like. That is weird."
Yeah.
What are the takeaways if we analyze that for a minute? Is that person super duper outgoing?
I think
Right?
that's one of it. Yep,
That's
a
right.
really
That's a
and
trait.
the a few bases that I'm thinking, great networkers,
Great,
and they always have work.
great hang.
Great
That's
hang.
what we say, right?
Great hang. Yep.
Number one, number two. Is it? Do they have a certain look, or is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it very Hollywood? Is it very like, yo, that person's a rock star? What is it?
See, that depends gig to gig, I think. But you're right. The rock star vibe can be good as long as it doesn't get too degenerative, I think. Because I think some artists do like to have their band be rock stars.
Yeah.
But then you also got to remember, wait, I'm not the rock star. I'm the hired guy, so I gotta keep it at bay.
Break that down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was too slow. Oh my gosh, I always say you're not the rock star. You're working for rock star.
Exactly.
You are kind of a rock. It's so weird because then when you talk to your family and friends back home who aren't in our business,
Yep, they all think.
well, look at Mr. Rockstar. He came home to see us.
Yeah, yep.
And my brothers do that to me. All right, Mr. Hollywood.
Yep.
I'm like, if you guys only knew, I'm nothing. I'm just a guy playing the guitar back there. A really interesting dichotomy that we have to kind of balance, right?
Right. It is. Yeah.
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 All right, but all this being said, talk about some of your experiences. I mean, just to name a few: Dominic, Fike, Remi Wolf, Rooney, the band, Luke Hemmings from 5 Seconds of Summer. Talk about this. I mean, man, you've played with some serious artists and still are.
Yeah, yeah. I think the fun thing about playing for a bunch of different people and always playing gigs when you come home off the road is I think life's all about balance, right? And it's such a good balance of not being stuck on one gig type of a thing. So well, I guess so. Yeah, with that, it's fun to bounce around. Obviously, I'd like stability, but nothing ever lines up perfect. So let's say I was playing with Dominic for 3 years, from when he was literally almost nothing. He signed his deal, obviously, but he wasn't, the TV or the show hadn't come out, Euphoria. We were playing small little clubs. Wow. To now he's headlining Lollapalooza or co-headline late in the night, selling out Greek 2 nights in a row thing.
My daughter's going to be so jealous that she didn't get to meet you.
I don't play for him anymore.
Okay.
But that's how the gig world goes. Even that gig at first, when I lost the gig, I was like, it crushes you at first a little. But then I got called for the Remi gig right away, which was lucky for me because it doesn't always work that way.
Right.
I guess going on talking about playing for all these different artists, it's pretty fun. They're all such different styles of music too. Luke is 5 Seconds of Summer, a little more indie rock. He's sort of more of a rock star. Dom's a rock star in his own way. He's up there rapping. He's playing, shredding his guitar.
But he's got a lot of R&B influences too.
He does, but he's
or
also...
did that happen later?
No, he's all actually as a young guy, he was doing a lot of freestyling and rapping and stuff,
Okay.
and then he started playing guitar, and he's great at it. And he writes the songs on guitar and sings, and then he had a cool, he has a cool little balance of rap to get up on guitar, shred some solos, rock out as production goes all over the place, which
Some
is cool.
MGK vibes.
Which he was
Love
doing
that
it
stuff.
maybe before them even.
Wow.
And then Remi is so fun. That's a wild gig. We're all crazy on stage and it's funky loops, and that was fun for bass. A lot of cool bass lines.
Are you getting rowdy on stage, running around going star
she
lifestyle?
Yeah.
I love that.
That was her thing, was looking back at me. Come on, guys, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
had a wireless pack?
Wireless, wireless.
Oh, that's fun.
Actually, every night I'd throw my bass off stage to a tech.
I love
So when
that.
the show was over, I had this little Mustang bass,
Yeah.
and I just would throw it, and the tech would catch it.
Love that.
Every night, yeah.
Man, for I would say over a decade I did that.
Okay,
on the Babyface gig, which is an R&B
Oh, cool,
gig.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When it was at the end of the show.
Wow,
We
yeah.
had this one last chord, and I would just hit it and crank the volume distortion and just throw it across a 40-foot stage. My tech, that's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's something liberating about throwing a guitar
Yeah,
across
and the
stage.
crowd loves it. That's what they want to
love
see.
it. Yes,
They want that kind of show.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try that with drums. I'm just gonna take my bass drum and be like, catch.
Well,
luck.
I've seen some bands do some crazy shit.
Dude, that's
I can't
wild.
do it right now. All right, so that's cool because then you played some big festivals. What is it? Bonnaroo, Coachella. I mean, you
Bottle
played,
Rock, yeah.
Yeah, you played all the late night shows.
Right, yeah.
So doing that at such a high level is a great experience. But here's the key. How do you manage it when you're juggling all these different artists? Because you just said it. It doesn't always line up. So let's say you're with so-and-so, artist A, but artist B says, oh, our tour starts this. And you're like, dang, my tour with them finishes 3 days after their tour starts.
Right.
Oh, my gosh, the incongruency.
And that'll drive you just as insane as losing a
Bananas,
gig. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, because... Yeah, there's something about times when you don't have work. At least I don't have to decide.
Worry about it. Have you ever run into any of that stuff?
Yeah. Actually, when I was with Remi, when I stopped playing with Remi, was one of my best friends I grew up with in San Diego. He's got a project called Heather, really good guitarist, Paul Castelluzzo, and he got the offer to open up for Dominic. I was already playing for Remi, not for Dominic. And he got the offer to open up for Dominic on his tour. And he's a really good friend of mine, personal level as a kid. So I went out with him. Lost the Remi gig, but it's fun, and that's just kind of. Also, you also got to realize in the pop industry, I could lose the Remi gig at any time, so why not do this? kind of thing.
That's a good way of looking at
Even though I'm still friends with Remi and
Yeah.
but it's and also I was kind of filling in for her bassist at that point anyway. Her bassist was touring with Lord, that Maddie J, and so she's back playing with her anyway. So
Okay.
I was kind of filling in anyway.
So
really,
you were a temp slot,
right? Yeah.
so it kind of worked out. Now,
It
was
worked
there
out.
a large pay gap between the two acts that from Remi to your buddy, or was
no,
it
actually,
similar?
no. He got really lucky because he's friends with Dominic. He's actually the reason I ever played with Dominic or Remi.
Wow.
He's a producer, so he produces some stuff with them.
Okay.
And so he kind of connected me to everyone. So that's also why I owe him to jump off any tour and go on his tour.
Got it.
But he's friends with Dominic. He was only him as support.
yeah.
And we did 2 nights at the Greek, we did
Yeah.
all that size venue. So he was getting good money anyway. So he was able to pay me.
So he took care of the band.
right. And it was just the 3 of us, and I was his tour manager.
Power trio then.
Yeah, it was a power. Yeah. And it was, we were really simple on the road. So, and Dominic even gave us spots on the bus. So we were on one of the buses. It was easy. He was making good money, so he was able to give me money, which usually isn't the case. That was a good question.
I was just
That was a
gonna
really good
say
question because
that.
usually that's not the case.
It's usually not the case, because then if he was starting off as an artist himself, usually there is a big disparity between the pay scales.
Right.
Okay, you hinted at it a minute ago. I want to circle back. You said, well, since tours don't go all year long, they kind of have to pay well.
Right.
You don't have to divulge numbers if you don't want. If you want to, great. If you
Okay.
don't want to, you don't have to.
I'll give a range.
Give a range.
Yeah.
Would love to know that, because again, the mission, I say again, I'm saying it to the audience, not you, but our mission here at the Career Musician is to empower musicians with strategies for a sustainable living.
Right. And
Sustainable.
Right. No, exactly. Just in California, it's hard to be sustainable. And I think this is a good question, and it's good to give a range because
Yeah.
we don't want people undercutting gigs and taking gigs for nothing, which ruins it for all the veteran musicians.
Dude, you could say that a million times over. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be enough.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, everybody? We don't want musicians undercutting other musicians. Stop acting. Stop doing
Right.
that to one another.
Right. Because you've been in it for a long time, and
Yes.
you know that tour rates aren't good anymore, really.
They're not.
And it's crazy that they're getting these huge arena tours are paying musicians. For a huge arena tour to pay the musicians $300 a night isn't good.
That's actually appalling.
It's appalling, yeah. So I'd say I like to go out for the minimum. Should I say this on? Okay. Yeah.
Minimum, yeah, you could say
Minimum, I
whatever.
like to go out for 35 a week, which
Yeah.
is 500 today.
Yeah,
And then I think for big artists and stuff, it should be minimum 5,000 a week.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wholly agree.
Yeah, so I think the range should be 35 to 5,000. I know back in the day though, they're sometimes getting a lot of money.
It's crazy.
10,000 a week or something.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
so crazy how it just kind of lopsided itself.
Right.
Now, it turned itself on its head.
Yeah.
Kinda, in the most.
And it's working somehow. Not for us. For everyone.
And it's because what we just said. Here's the deal: when you undercut standardized rates as a career musician, and I'm looking right at the camera again, when you undercut the standardized rates that all of the cats who came before you have worked so hard to get to, when you undercut those rates, you know what you're doing? You're cutting the throats of all of us. It's a race to the bottom. It's
Right.
like crabs in a bucket. If you ever see crabs in a bucket, I'm not a big fishing guy, but if you ever gone fishing, you put crabs in a bucket, they all try to claw to get to the top. But guess who they're clawing? They're clawing each other. They're
Yeah.
clawing on, and they're like, "No, I'm at the top." And then another one comes up, "No, I'm at the top," and grabs that one down. It's like, what? That's what we're
That's
doing
a
to
good
each
analogy,
other.
yeah.
We don't
We
want
are,
to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So in order to not do that, we have to have some business savvy. And part of this, Joel and I talk about it all the time. I love working with Joel because he has a background in law. And he understands some of the basic business principles of which any business should be built upon, right? Because you can't have a sustainable business unless you understand these principles and you kind of lay your foundation.
Right.
So, as a guy who's been doing it, like you said, I've been doing it a little longer than you guys, but
Yeah.
you guys are still, you're at that, I'm not going to call it mid, I don't know what you call it, but
I'd say mid to maybe high level, but pretty mid. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but you guys
'Cause
are
there's
high.
a lot.
No, I don't mean you're high level.
Right.
I guess I'm talking about years in the biz.
Right. Yeah. No, but I guess I was thinking gig wise, the high level would be Taylor Swift.
That would
playing
be
for
the
her,
ultimate
or,
high. Yeah.
or
Benson Boone or
any, and then all the old legacy artists that are still doing it.
Loves legacy
So
artists.
so I mean, I haven't done any gigantic gigs. I would say they're big gigs, but
Right.
still pretty mid-level. I'd say.
I have a handful of buddies that play with Chicago or
Right.
the Eagles or
That's
Joe
that's as high as it gets.
Did you? Please call me. yeah. But yeah, so again, sustainability. How do we break this down? How do we really analyze the tools that it takes and try to sharpen them to enable this sustainable, career path?
Yeah, that's a difficult one, I think, too, because I don't want to talk trash on unions, but the music union doesn't help us touring musicians at all.
At all.
And
the rates are archaic for live
exactly.
dates. Why is that?
I don't know, and you can't really talk to them. That's the other thing. I've tried to get through to them before, and they don't want to talk to you, especially if you're not a member, and I'm not a member. It feels pretty helpless dealing with them, so it is on us.
It's on us.
But then,
yeah.
how do
I
we?
think part of it is being willing to discuss ranges. Maybe you don't have to be exactly, and maybe there are times where I might take a little lower pay for a buddy to help him out. You have a good buddy, you're like,
Right.
Okay, I might do something to help him. But understanding those ranges, it's so taboo to talk about money, and you want people sometimes to think you're making more than you are, things. So it's good to be honest and do some ranges, and so that young kids know coming up.
Yes.
Okay, wait a second. This pop artist is offering me $150 a day to go out. If they've never heard someone say, I actually had a buddy take me out my first week in Nashville. He sat me down at the coffee shop. He's like, do not go out. He sit me down. He's like, do not go out. And he said less than 2,000.
Yeah.
But
okay.
and it
At
depends.
least he's setting a level.
Yeah, it's almost 100 a day, but
Yeah, and everyone has their different levels. Everyone has a thing. But he's like, do not leave town for less than 2,000 a week. And but coming in from a lower range, I came up, like I said, Nashville Broadway stuff where you're making $150, $200. Like,
75.
if someone had come to me and been, we'll pay you $200 a day to go out on tour every single day, I probably would have been like, okay, cool, I'm excited to go on the road and stuff. But like, if you're getting taken advantage of,
I would say late teens, mid 20s, I understand. And
your first gig maybe, but it also needs to be with the gig. If you can't do that on a big gig, even if it's your first tour, if it's an arena tour, then you can't take that little money.
No,
you can slide your scale down a little if it's a brand new artist doing tiny clubs, 250 cap clubs, and you understand they don't really have much money. They don't have major label support. This is my first tour. I need to get some
a van tour.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Then it's okay. For my first tour, I understand the actual circumstances. They have no money, and I'm not doing anything. Then, in that sense, it might be okay to go
take
for
a lower number.
Yeah. But that's about the only case where you should go that low.
Just understand where it should be once you get up to those bigger levels.
That's right. It has to be a sliding scale. And listen, if you don't know, come to us, find out. You can DM us. You can send an email, Nomad at The Career Musician, info at The Career Musician. You can find all of us online on the Instagrams. Just hit us up. Don't be ashamed. Or if it's not us, ask some other people ask some of your friends. Hey, what do you think about this? And do it in confidence. Now, you said something, sometimes people want to flex. Oh, yeah, I just got such and such gig. Oh, really? That's cool, bro. How much you making? Oh, they're hooking me up, bro. I'm getting hooked the fuck up. It's like, when you hear that, you're like, okay, first of all, you're a douche. Second of all, it's like, come on, man, just be real. So I do think there is a sense of let's help each other, community, let's inform one another, let's not undercut one another. But then the other rule about salary is once you're in a band, what's my rule?
Once you're in the group, don't talk about money.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you had experiences with that?
Yeah, and actually, I don't have a really gig. I've never had a gig where I felt uncomfortable and no one. It's so taboo that no one does it.
Right.
At least in my case, we've never talked about money.
Right.
With any band, and you get obviously really close with bands when you're on the road because you're living in the same bus with them.
Yeah.
But no one talks about money. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you could get your ass handed to you.
Right. Because
you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Yeah. That just put yourself in those shoes. If you ask someone and you make way more or they make way more, it's gonna be weird.
Talking about dissension amongst the ranks.
Yeah.
Then it's an issue.
Yeah.
But and there are instances where that happens. I'm not condoning either or scenario. But
right.
let's say the drummer is also the playback engineer and also the backline tech / stage manager.
Right. then he
Talking
deserves to make a lot more.
Talking about 4 positions he or she or they're filling,
Right.
right?
Right.
Whereas you're just the bass player.
Right.
All you do is show up from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. for sound check, and then back on deck for 7:30 downbeat. That's all you do. Whereas he's at the venue all day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. He's gonna be making a lot more. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's good to understand those different roles.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's important to understand you're never going to have a positive discussion with a band leader or someone who holds the money if you come to them and be like, hey, I heard this person's getting paid this or that or blah blah blah. If you find out those things, be cool about it. Keep it chill. Remember, you accepted the gig for a certain amount, and then know that the next time you're going to ask for more.
Right.
But no matter what, you're never, I heard this person, because that hurts them, it hurts
Right.
you. Never do that. It's, all right, I now have a range now in my head. Next time something comes up in negotiations, I can push for a different number and push a little bit, make a smarter decision. But you're never, don't use the other person. Don't pull them under either.
Don't
Right.
pull him under, and don't act based off of your emotions. Is
That's
what you're saying.
great. Yes.
Do the recon. Do the recon. Track that data, right? Write it down. Save it for, then go back and negotiate. We talk about this all the time because, again, I always go back to your law. We just had lunch the other day, and what did I tell you? I was like, go back to law school. I was like, be a career musician. Still be a career musician. Do both.
Yep.
Because it's some of those skills, because you come at it from a different angle. You know how to negotiate for gigs, whereas so many musicians don't. And I believe it's because you paid attention when you went to school to study law, because those are some of the, again, those same fundamentals that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Talking about
Negotiation's
negotiation.
important. Yeah.
Negotiating.
Really, important.
Really, what is negotiating? When are you really negotiating? There's a crux that I'm looking for.
When you can say no, when you can walk away.
Oh, okay.
That's the only
Yeah.
time you're actually negotiating. Otherwise, it's called compromising.
Right.
Hey, man, I have a tour, 3,200. It's the best I could do. What is your comeback?
How about 4,000?
Man, 32. We're that's it. We're shot.
So then I think in my head, without saying out loud, well, 35 is my floor. I'm gonna have to say no and hope something else better comes along.
Okay.
So then I'd say, I can't do it, man.
See? That's negotiating.
Yeah.
Now, if
I
I
don't know if I would do that depending on what.
depending on what it was, right?
Depending on what it was. If
But
it was
see how close I hit to your floor?
Yes.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah. And so yeah, to be honest, there's a chance, circumstances, I might have taken it for that.
Right.
And that's a little hypocritical of what I said earlier, but that was close to the floor.
Close to, but now let's say I'm the manager and I'm talking to you, and I go back to the artist. Hey, man, your boy, because you told me, oh, I love this guy. I want him in the band. Right. I say, hey, man.
Which honestly I do frequently with Sean. I'm like, let's call him.
So I love that. So it works out. So
I owe Joel
say,
a few gigs.
Hey, he won't do it for 32. He wants 35. Now it's on the artist. Now this is a private conversation that you're not privy to.
Yep.
See, and this is the hard part, folks, because now your emotions are fucking with you.
Right.
Because you're at home thinking, oh, I wonder what's going on. I haven't heard from him. It's been 2 days. Should I text him? Should I email? But you don't know. He's trying to talk to the artist, but the artist is off in fucking Cancun fucking around with his girlfriend.
Not responding to any
not
texts.
responding. It's like, bro, you need to let me know what to do about this band guy. You said you wanted him, but I got to know.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what do we do?
Dude, can I just had the most relevant situation to this pop up
Please.
this week. And all love to the people involved. We'll change names maybe. But
Yes.
So an artist, a manager for an artist put up a posting, needs someone for this kind of gig. And I was built for it. I do the playback things they do. I do all these things. I was like, this is my gig.
You
Put it on
you
it.
do that so well.
And thank you. And so I posted in for it. Nothing. I did some research, did my recon, went in. I found out who the manager was. I found out what the band was. And I found out I know one of the drummers for the band. And so I hit that guy up and I was like, hey, man, I'm guessing they're not giving you this gig because you're not available. What's up? And he's like, oh, actually, I didn't know about it, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, so we talked about it.
That's a situation.
Yeah, that was, and turned out it was pretty innocent. They thought he was unavailable or something. Okay. So anyway, but they offered him a rate and they went back to him. Because I was talking to him, we were very open with each other about what was happening. Because I think that's important. Don't undercut musicians. Build community. You got friends. It's never worth it to undercut your friends to get ahead.
Right,
No.
I agree with that. Totally
Imagine
agree.
if Sean said 35 and you were like, screw it, I'll do it for 28.
Right.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible.
No,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So They offered him a rate. He couldn't do it. It was not, the rate was not worth the work. They came to me. They offered me a little less than that. And I was, okay, at least they value you a little more than me. But so I told them, I came back and I was, I'm going to need triple that. And here's why. And so I didn't just say no. I didn't say I can't do it for that. I said, hey, if you can stretch to this, I know it's hard. I know budgets are tight. And I know I respect you for doing that because I know how hard it is to put it on with no budget. I respect that. But if you can do this, here's the value I bring. Here's why. I do this thing on this level here. I build a playback for award shows like this. You're getting a lot of value for that money. So I do this, I do this. These are the things that I do that make me good for this gig. And I'm not trying to come off wrong. I just want to let you know that I can provide a lot of good value for that. And the next they came back with, when can you rehearse? So like instantly, so like
Wow, nice.
It was. I think people. Like,
I'm going to do it for you.
But people a lot of times feel like they have to say yes or no, or if they counter it, they did want to say like, oh, well, can you do this amount? But if you come back with, hey, I recognize this is a problem. I recognize your efforts here. Here's why I want this, and here are the things that I bring to the table. I think that's what some people don't always think about.
Again, you break it down, and now you're offering a sense of the value you bring clearly articulated. Communication is key. So many times musicians, again, why? Because we're acting out of our emotions.
Right.
Man, fuck that guy. I need let's screw that man. I can't believe they offered him this. Right?
Yeah. No, you're so right. When you said the emotion thing, don't act out your emotions. It's so true. If I ever get mad about something, I never call or email or text. I wait till the next day.
Bro.
Because I know it's not going to be good. I know I'm going to regret it,
Regret it. Why did I have to learn that lesson over and over multiple times throughout the decades?
Because you're a New Yorker.
Because I'm shut the fuck up, Joe.
You got to deal with the soft Southern California.
You're an Italian New Yorker.
Because I'm a Cuban Italian New Yorker. What the hell you mean, bro? Yeah. And it's so funny because my wife, she says born and brainwashed here in the Valley. She's from here, and she's super chill.
Right.
And when I first came out here and we were together, we would go out and we would have a good time, and I would meet people. We would just meet people hanging out, and the first thing I'd be like, yo, bro, where you from? And she's like, don't say that to people. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't know about the gang culture.
Gangs,
And but back east, it was like, yo, where you from? Oh, I'm from Huntsville. Oh, man, I get out of town. Huntington. Yeah, I grew up on it. My cousin over. You know Vinny? Yeah, I know Vinny. It's like that kind of thing. It's such a different thing.
Yeah, it's totally different.
But the emotions, man, I'll never forget. There was a famous guitar player that called me one time. This was before cell phones. I was living in Nashville at the time. His name is Phil Keggy. He's not like household name, but he's like tremendous, amazing guy. Like Jimi Hendrix was inspired by this guy. So many people. Clapton, and I was doing a gig with a guy that he was friends with, and he didn't have that guy's number, Kirk Whalum. So he called me, and he's like, he picked up the phone. It was an old phone with the curly Q cords. I just had an old school one, and I was really mad. I just gone through a fight with my ex-wife, and now my ex at the time, and I was just like, hello. And he was like, hi. Well, yeah, who is this? And I was like, and I was so stupid. I was still in my 20s. I'm like, what a freaking idiot. Like, what an idiot. And then when he told me, I felt like this big. I was like, really? You just can't
now I have to
do
explain myself.
Yeah, you have to let the emotion pass.
Yeah.
Even in a text or an email.
Definitely.
I always say if you want to, because you're blistering.
Yeah,
I can't believe they said that to me.
Actually, I write it out because that gets the emotion out. But don't send it.
Do it on a note.
Write it in a note. Don't write it so they can see the three little
I do it in
dots.
notes. Exactly. I do it in notes. You write it out, and it's actually useful for when you do compose yourself the next day.
Yes.
You can take some things from there, but
you can reframe it in the right way. And it's because I truly believe as musicians, here's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. I'm backing this up. I'm blaming it on the muse, the Greek muse. Now, depending on what you're reading, some say there's 11, some say there's 13, some say there's 9 of these Greek goddesses known as the muse who impart this creative energy to us. And we're vertically connected. Why? Because we're creative beings. We always are. We're open vessels. We're an open conduit to the muse. And because of that, what happens? We wear our heart on our sleeve. And we have to. You can't create music without being in touch with your emotions and without being emotional, right? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people today on the TikTok that are just, I don't understand that.
Millions of followers.
Different thing.
They're making money.
Making money.
Somehow.
I own a house in Malibu. How did you do that? Teach me. I know how to do this. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. I think it's part of that. I think that being said, it's what makes us all unique and musicians. Let's jam. What are you going to play?
I don't even know.
What's your favorite? What's a
good
go-to
Rooney
bass line? We won't play the song, but what's one of your favorite bass lines?
And I wouldn't even know it, so I can interpret it differently. You know?
This one I can think of.
I love it. Talk about this dirty word that I call networking. I say it's a dirty word. I believe that it's relationship building, right? But still, if you frame it in the larger context, everybody knows it as networking. How, what, when, where, why, who? Tell us from your purview. How did you do it?
For the networking, yeah. I didn't do it in school that much. Like, I know that a lot of kids that go to USC in the pop music program, it seems to be helpful in MI, but that's also because you're in the city of LA, close to all the execs and managers and stuff. My networking all took place basically on gigs and at that Sunset Jam. But then actually beyond that, so then you get the gig. Okay, so this is good, yeah. So you get the gig finally, or you're on any gig and you get to know everyone involved. So don't never be that too cool for school guy on the gig and not wanting to talk to anyone and being sort of a diva. It's good to really go meet everyone at the gig like a normal person, right? Introduce yourself. Because you never know who the manager is, who's the booking agent, who's the bigwig at the label, who's the A&R guy, who's a sound guy maybe down the road. I shouldn't call him sound guy. An audio engineer, monitor mixer engineer, or even a tech that maybe down the line is, hey, I worked with this bassist. He's so cool. We need one last minute. Maybe somebody got hurt or something and need one right away. Everyone's going to reach into their Rolodex. Everyone's going to reach into their phone and say, okay, wait, this guy's cool. Yeah. And it could be anyone. A lot of people I know, they got their best gig from someone you would never think got on that gig.
Random word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it's all about bumping phones. Here, I'll bump you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And go out a lot. I think when I first moved to LA, I was out all the time. I was also more of a party animal back then.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I went out a lot, and sometimes you're too tired to go out. But if somebody says, "Hey, come to this," and you're not doing anything, you should go to a show or go to a hang or go to a jam session, and just I don't think you'll ever regret it, to be honest.
Right.
So yeah,
part of it is just getting up, dressing up, and showing up.
Right. Yep. And it's hard to do a lot sometimes. I mean,
the
older I get, it's really hard for me to do.
Dude, wait till you get to my age.
I'm like, you seem, you're pretty fit. You hit the gym. It looks like
I do. I'm 53. So
wow, you're looking good.
Thank you. Because what happens? You want my number?
Yeah. You said you're ex, right? You're single.
No, I'm happily married.
Okay.
No, the thing is, what happened was I started getting in my early 40s. And started being like, I got to start taking care of myself better. So I started being more conscious of it. And then I went into another slump where I didn't take care of myself. And then now getting into my 50s, I was like, stop this bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself and stick to it.
Right, yeah.
Don't go through peaks and valleys of taking care of yourself and not taking care of yourself.
Right.
Just do this. taking care of myself, taking care of myself, taking a little bit, taking care of myself, taking care of myself, instead of I'm gonna eat pizza and beer for the next 6 weeks, and then I'm gonna eat kale salads. Try to maintain this.
The unfortunate reality of the industry is it is a visual thing.
It
So that
is.
literally just
Yeah.
extends your career.
Right.
You stay fit, you stay looking good.
Right.
People care about that. Depending on the city you're in. I feel like Nashville, they don't care as much. It's more about the more earthy you are there. We want you on our band. But then you get to LA and you got to be looking good, you know?
Yeah.
And
it
does.
hurts sitting on planes and in trains and buses and cars if you're not in shape. My body hurts when I'm not doing well. It hurts.
And I'm starting to get into stretching and yoga, light yoga.
That's good,
But
yeah.
also I love lifting and I love running. I don't love running on the treadmill. I love running outside because it keeps my mind occupied. Because all the visual stimulation, this is cool, trees, hills, dogs, people, stuff. Especially if you're in a different city every day on tour. I used to do that all the time. You land in Philly. The first thing I would do, a lot of the things we call it the drop and roll. Drop your bags, meet at the lobby bar, right? That's
Right.
normal. Don't get me wrong, I love that. I love my Jameson. But drop and roll to the bar. But then I started getting into dropping and rolling, putting on my running shoes and going and exploring a city.
That's
I remember
great, yeah.
one time I was in Tacoma, Washington State, Tacoma. I ran for 14 miles before I realized, oh, shit, I ran 14 miles out. I either have to take an Uber back or I have to run back. It was holy shit. I did not run all the way back. I ended up running a couple more miles and then got in an Uber. I was like, that's too much. But my point is, do stuff that keeps you engaged. And here's the thing. I promise you, when you get to your late 40s, it's shifts. It's about longevity, heart health, respiratory health, organ. I want all of my stuff to work properly. It helps. The older you get, your wake up call.
Because you do forget when you're on the road all the time or just gigging that you can have a drink every day. You're having so much fun. You don't really care about working out, but it really catches up. And sometimes you get to the point where there's no return.
Bro.
Usually there's return.
Well, no, but you're right. But you have to be careful. So there is find that return before it's too late.
Before it's too late, yeah.
And
before you get some diagnosis or something,
Man. So what would you say, man, to somebody who looks up to people like you and what you've accomplished, what you've done? Any final thoughts, final notes of wisdom? What do you want to leave?
I think, be yourself is really important because it is easy going from one audition to the next or one band to the next. And you have to adapt just like we naturally adapt as humans to each project you're in. But I think what shines through the best and creates your identity beyond just being a session musician, but being called because they want you to do your thing is making sure you're true to your identity and, being yourself.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is a good person and works hard and
Like the common sense stuff.
the common
right?
sense stuff. Yeah.
Be a good hand.
And leaving your emotions is such an important thing because we are musicians. I know we already went over this. We're sensitive and but just make sure you check your emotions.
I mean, I only harp on it so much because I know I've fucked up so much.
Yep.
Guys, gang, everybody, I fucked up so much. I've gotten fired so many times where I didn't have to.
Yeah.
If I would have just kept my mouth shut and kept my cool,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had to be fired.
Yeah.
So I respect
Happened to me,
it, and I'm at the point. Come on, fire me, motherfucker. Because I'm not going to
You like
say
it
that
too much.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it out
said,
loud.
yeah.
I'm just thinking that I'm going to say, but you have to step back. Now I'm thinking of it like a chess game. I'm being more
Right.
tactical, strategic.
Right.
So strategic before I act on it. So the strategy, then the tactic, and then you put it into motion. But
Right.
it took me time to get here. I look at some people who are a lot younger and have those skills, and I'm very envious. Wow, I wish I had those skills when I was younger. So if there's any takeaway, that's the takeaway.
You're right. And that's true. I think about the guys that are at the top and they are really strategic. They're chess players.
Yes.
At being musicians.
Yes.
And I think I'm pretty good, but there's guys that are really good at that chess game.
Where can we all find you? Where can everybody find you?
So Sean Sobash is my name, SEAN, and I have Instagram. It's all just at Sean Sobash. All my things.
Love it. Consistency. That's
Yeah,
important.
the thing is, the one last thing is I would worry about your social media because I never cared too much. I always did the minimum to keep it going, and I keep it going. But you can get a lot of gigs that way, and it has helped me get gigs before, and you can make money, as we were talking about TikTok and stuff. That can be another stream of income, which I've actually never made money through, besides getting gigs. I've never explored that avenue, but Might as well film yourself all the time while you're practicing. I should have done that.
I feel the same. I
Yeah,
feel like
should have.
if
And I
I
could
would have
still, I
started
guess.
doing this at 2010, when it first kind of came on the scene, and my wife even told me, she's like, "Yo, you need to start doing this." And
Yeah.
I tried a couple times. It didn't feel authentic at the time.
I'm not into it, which
I
sucks
know.
because
I know.
it will get you work everywhere. You
In
get more
every way.
gigs. You'll
Yeah.
get. So it is important.
So
though.
just a bunch of musicians, we just depressed ourselves.
let's have a influencer on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
And we'll all listen. And
It'll be the opposite. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned. What? Because we will have some influencers on here, and actually, I like the different purviews of the influencer perspective versus the working side person perspective.
Yeah.
We grew up as working side musicians for
Right.
other artists and other bands. The influencers don't know that. They've
At all,
never
yeah,
done that.
yeah.
They've only played to the camera. And
Yeah.
it's amazing at some of the numbers they garner. I'm like,
it's crazy.
how do you have 2 million people
Millions.
by just sitting at the camera and playing some of the coolest shit?
Yeah.
But I'm like, wow, but they did it consistently. Now, if you look at some of, and I can't even think of names, but
Yeah.
the one dude, I think he's Brazilian, the guitar player, he's got 4 or 5 million now.
Oh,
For
is
like
that
the past-
Mateus Asada?
Yeah,
and he
Mateus.
plays for Bruno now.
They-
Bruno Mars.
And
Or
he's
I don't-
playing, is he still playing for Bruno?
I don't know if he still is, but I remember he got that gig.
There
He
you
didn't
go.
need that gig. I think he was playing for Tori Kelly when he just got
that's
huge
right, he
on
was, yep.
Instagram.
And he doesn't need
He
the
doesn't
gig.
need to do anything, yeah. And I can tell you that too. The older I get and the more I was on the road. This year I kind of did less traveling because I wanted to. And it sounds nice to just have money coming in and sit in front of my camera at home than hitting the road all the time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we love the road, but the less...
After a while.
Yeah.
It'd be nicer to not need it.
To not
It's nicer
need
to
it,
take
do it when you want to do it.
Do
Yes.
it. I did a TV show for 6 months here in LA in the early 2000s.
That's cool.
It was
That's a
my
dream
favorite 6 months of my career because I would always say I didn't have to see an airport for 6 months.
Yeah.
And after being on tour for all those years, it does wear you down.
It wears you down, yeah.
So take care of yourself. That's the
Yeah.
message.
Take care of
You know,
yourself. Be
Hydrate,
yourself.
work out, be yourself. And don't hang out with a bunch of musicians who drag you down. Hang out with a bunch of musicians who pull you up.
Yes.
Come
That's
on,
good.
man.
I was actually going to say too. We're going back to the networking stuff and that energy, the energy you bring to that stuff.
Yes.
So when I met Sean, we were pulling up. We'd all flown in from LA. We flew into I don't even remember Canada. I think it was Canada, and or Detroit was the airport. But we pulled to the airport. All of us got in the van and we were going to the terminal. Sean was getting in that. And David, as we were pulling up, the band leader that for the group we're in, he goes, "All right, you're about to meet Sean. He's like a golden retriever. He's just so happy." And like, and he was flying in off of was that Rena opening for ELO on that tour?
Right.
So he was
Yeah.
flying from an arena tour, Europe or somewhere, flying in for the day to play with us, and then flying back out. But like,
You were.
That's another
See?
thing. I've always
Look
been
at
a psychopath with if I can do a gig, I'll do it. Meaning I was playing with Rooney. We were opening up for ELO on arenas. We
Electric
played
Light Orchestra.
Electric
Okay.
Jeff Lynne's
Yeah.
huge. We were 2 nights Madison Square Garden. Anyway, all the hockey rinks and stuff. So we did a whole tour, and we had sometimes 4 days off. And if I got a gig offer, I'd take it and just fly there. And why not?
so he hops off. He's jet lagged AF, hopping off of the thing, and he just hops in. He's just the happiest
Isn't
dude.
he
He's like,
nice?
"What's up, guys?" He's just this happy energy coming into the room. I was like, "This dude's so cool."
I
And I'm
love
like, but
that.
that's what it is. It's you bring that, you get out, make friends in the network, but it's also that energy you bring in. People feel that very quickly.
That's
when
right.
You're happy. You bring
I
a
wish I
positive
could
energy.
be sometimes cooler guy and not smiling as much, but I don't know what happened.
No, man.
What's wrong
that's-
with my brain?
No, that's good energy, man. I'm the
Yeah.
same. I'm one of those guys. I have to always be speaking. I feel like that dead air sometimes is awkward, so I'm always trying to fill the dead air.
Right.
And sometimes I
have a
wish I
little of that.
wasn't like that.
But no, that's just who we are, and let's embrace it. And then there is the occasional person that's like, I can't stand that guy because he's always smiling, or that guy's always talking. But
Yeah.
there's always going to be someone that doesn't like you. Who cares?
And I heard this
I got
phrase.
you on that one. Wait.
Yeah.
That was late.
But I heard this phrase. I really like to get a little sentimental on it. But it's like the world doesn't need more cool people. It needs more warm people. And I was like, then that's the kind of vibe you bring to us.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
Ah,
But
I like that. Yeah. And on that note, wait, what? Come on. But
Oh.
and on that note, wow. We should play a song out. Do you guys know? Because I know you're a blues head. Mary Had a Little Lamb, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
No, but is it just a blues?
Yeah.
shout out Westerland.
Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow, yeah. And everywhere that she went, that lamb was sure to go, yeah. He followed her to school one day and broke the teacher's rules, yeah. What a time they had that day out of school, yeah. Tisket.
I'm just a nomad, nowhere man. I know